Excited. This will be the second time Mike Karney has called in. He's doing a lot of cool things with the NFL Players Association, a lot of training of the rookies, and it'll be really excited to hear what he thinks about the new rookie class. And he's got some cool stuff coming up, so I'm excited to talk with him about it. Let's patch him through right now. Hey, Mike, you there?
Tyler, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for taking some time to call in again.
Absolutely.
How's the fam?
Fam is good, man. Just enjoying 4-day weekend here, 3-day weekend. You know, it starts on Friday to me, but we're having a good time on 1-day weekend. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing good. I've got little man duty. The wife's at a bachelorette party, so I'm taking it easy. I'm gonna be feeling really good every morning this weekend. So that's good.
I bet you will be. I know.
Hey,
same house, just different address.
Yeah, there we go. So I was looking on your website, which is really cool, MikeKarney.com, and I noticed you've got this rookie premiere event coming up quick. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, next Saturday. Actually, it's an annual deal. It's been going on for, from the time even when I was in the league. Top 50 draft picks get invited out by the NFLPA and Players Inc. And it's kind of a little bit of a small rookie symposium, you know, introduction to the league. Basically, we go over everything that they need to be, you know, looking out for. It's coming in as the top picks, and so it's a great weekend. And we finish it out on Saturday at the LA Coliseum. All the top 50 guys get in their new team uniform, and they'll be doing their action photos with top trading card companies, Fleer, you name it, Tops. They all come out, so it's a pretty cool deal. And this year we're obviously adding in the dimension of our player mentor program. So I got about 8 kids from the region here that I'm mentoring that are going to show up, and then we're going to put on a little training camp for life event with them, where we're going to do some speaking and talking about just kind of tying it all together. And so it's going to end up being a great event, great weekend next week.
Yeah, I've been seeing you post some stuff, and you're already meeting with a lot of these. What do you think of this year's draft class?
I think it's very impressive. You know, I think you know, you look at the first pick and Jadeveon Clowney and so on and so forth, Blake Bortles and Johnny Manziel, everybody. I mean, it's a pretty talented class. So, you know, it's exciting time for those guys, exciting time for rookies in general. And now now the real work begins. You know, now they got to go out and reprove themselves, and hopefully they can continue on with, you know, what they had already started with their great college careers, and which has allowed them to be drafted and be in the National Football League. So it's a pretty talented class overall, and we'll see how some of these guys pan out here coming this fall and the years to come.
Mike, what's the kind of stuff that you're covering with these rookies? I know you talked about it last time, but those listeners that didn't catch the show, what kind of stuff are you going over with them?
You know, we're trying to bring reality to the situation. You know, these guys hire agents, they hire marketing people who pretty much are hired to, you know, and tell them what they want to hear. We come in and tell them what they need to hear. You know, this is basically we're trying to paint the big picture for them. Don't get tunnel vision. You know, this thing will end someday, and so we try to educate them with everything that we've gone through as our own as former players ourselves. You know, the ups, the downs, you know, the business of the NFL, because it is a business, as we all know. So we just try to really prep them and educate them and allow them to hopefully make the best decisions when that time comes. And, you know, we don't want guys just, you know, getting a couple of years. You hope that the guys can play a long time, you know, and that the numbers just don't allow that. You know, the average is only 3.2 years. So the biggest thing we really stress to them is life after football. What are you preparing to do? Obviously, you just got drafted, and you're going to sign a multi-year and million-dollar contract. But it's what you do with that money, and what you do with your time, and how you brand yourself in creating that platform for when you're done. And so, football is the vehicle, and there's so many things that come along when you're in that vehicle, and you got to be able to make the right choice at the right time. So that's really what we do, you know, in its entirety.
Mike, have you seen that it's probably numbers are kind of all across the board, but the players that have their parents involved, are they usually having more success, or in terms of holding on to it, or is it you get them financial planners, or what goes across there?
You know, the biggest thing, you know, it's a tough that's a tough subject that whenever you get family involved with some of these guys. Some of these guys, that's all they trust. I play with guys that that have sisters and uncles that do everything for them. And the reason why they do that is because they don't trust anybody else to do it. And so, but it's a double-edged sword because you don't know. We've heard stories, you've seen stories in the past of family taking advantage of that family that's playing in the NFL and the player not knowing it. There's guys that go out and hire the top financial advisors in the country, and they find out that whatever happened, they were scammed out of something. They lost a bunch of money. So, the one thing I can't speak for the other former players in our union that are doing what we're doing with these guys. I speak from my own experience. I always tell guys, you're in control of your money. You have that right to know where your money's at and where it's going. And if you don't know, then that's where it gets real tricky and real troublesome. So, now speaking up from experience, guys I've seen, they just hand their money to people and they don't know where it's really going. So be educated about what you're doing with your money. Understand that there is an end game and to be prepared for that end game. And so really trying to get these guys to understand that there's more to just playing football. That big paycheck's going to end. Don't be paying for mom and dad's mortgages. Don't be buying people cars or, paying for lavish, vacations. Don't be buying jewelry and basically, we want assets.
Yeah.
We don't want liabilities. And so that's the biggest thing I try to stress to these guys. And when you get family involved, it can be good and it can be bad.
So you're giving them a little accounting 101, the basics there.
Absolutely.
Good.
Understanding, what's the asset, what's the liability, what's going to depreciate, what's going to appreciate. So,
Yeah.
you used to be amazed how many guys don't even know that.
Right.
And so that's just one dimension, though. We try to get these guys to also understand that you're in the National Football League. It's time for you to be a pro, and this is what a pro's pro does. You take care of your body, and taking care of your body means this: you eat right, you get proper sleep at night, you take the proper supplements, you lift weights, you still stay in shape. It's a year-round job. You never have an off season. You're constantly moving, you're constantly going, and that's the recipe for guys who want to play a long career. If you want to have a short career, you want to be out of the league and be a part of that average of 3 years only, then you're going to do everything you can to get out of the league, which is get out of shape and not treat your body right, not do the right things, not get sleep, be out all night, and making stupid decisions. So we're just trying to do the best we can. You can't touch them all the time, but we're trying to touch one at a time. And if we can get a couple that get it, hopefully it can spread like a wildfire, and we have more guys that are being successful than the stories that we constantly see and pop up from time to time during the off season.
Yeah, you mentioning that just makes me think back to high school and just the amount of work ethic that you had, and that kind of spread and pushed everybody else to work harder. So it's kind of that the synergy and kind of momentum when you're seeing other people do it right and push harder than you normally push yourself.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest thing you can do. And you get to the point now when you're in the National Football League. You're your own independent contractor. You can do what you've been doing. I continue to use the same methods in my madness all the way through. I got to the National Football League, and you hope to grab a few young guys with you. You hope to get maybe some veteran guys that maybe are starting to slip a little bit because they're getting older in their career. Maybe you help kind of re-spark them. Those are the things that I looked at and tried to do. And you can only take the ones that want to listen, and you'd be surprised at a lot of these guys. Some of these guys just, they don't want to listen, or they hear you, but they don't want to apply it. And then they find out, I should have probably listened. But, it's just one of the things, Tyler, you just got to keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully, people, take note of it and apply it to their own lives.
Yeah, that's all we can do, right? I like that.
Absolutely.
Mike,
Absolutely.
I just had a good buddy on from college that's in the Army, and he's been serving, and you're doing some cool stuff at the end of June with your second military tour to talk to some troops. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yeah, I'm big time. I'm a big military advocate, big fan of military. I've been all my life. I just haven't been real out front about it. Kind of behind the scenes and private. I root hard for those guys. So I had the opportunity to tour with Armed Forces Entertainment by way of Pro Tour Productions. And basically, they hire us as former players to come in and travel around the numerous bases around the country, more so around the world, in the Middle East. So I've been to Bahrain, I've been to Djibouti, I've been to Kuwait, I've been to Diego Garcia. And so we go and we meet, and I've probably met, between 5,000 and 7,000 troops were, just shaking a hand, signing an autograph. You go to give support. You go to show that you appreciate truly what they do, because we know, you and I both know, Tyler, freedom ain't free, and so it's very important that I feel, that it's important to give them a time of our day, let them know we appreciate them. And it's as simple as a handshake. Hey, I appreciate what you're doing. And also just sitting there and letting them maybe tell you a story or two. You know what I mean? So it's so rewarding. I've had so much fun, and it's so rewarding and fulfilling to go, because you're able to give them just a little bit of your time, and they appreciate that, because they somewhat look up to us for what we've done in our careers and what we do in playing on Sundays. For us to just do that to them, it inspires them. It keeps them going. It keeps them encouraged to know that what they're doing, what they're sacrificing every day, individually, personally, to fit their families, of being away, that it's worth it. And so, and when I arrive, I meet a military personnel person of any, you name it, Air Force, Navy, Army, Armed Forces, whatever you are, I want to shake a hand and I want to say thank you. And so that this opportunity just gives me that chance. And so it's an awesome time. It's a great trip. It's first class, and we get in, we get to meet tons of troops. We get to meet a lot of commanders and generals and stuff like that. And so it's a heck of a time, and it's a way of letting them know how much we appreciate what they do for us.
Oh, Mike, that's incredible. That's got to be rewarding for them to meet you and for you to meet them. That's really cool.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a good time. And it's again, you're just trying to give them a little bit more encouragement and let them know that that we're taking notice. Yeah. It's so many people I've met on these trips that have said, we don't think you guys even know about us, or and that's the one thing. No, we do. We trust me. We that's why we're here. We do know what you're doing, and that's why we're here. We want to shake your hand and say thank you. And it's amazing to look in their face. It's amazing when they walk away. It's like they're almost floating. So that's all we're trying to do, man. And it's a great thing. It's a really great thing, and they deserve it. They deserve the attention. They deserve the handshake. They deserve our time.
And Mike, you've got a background of family that's served, and a grandpa that won a Purple Heart or earned a Purple Heart.
Yeah. My grandpa George, my dad's dad, who I never had the honor and privilege to meet. He served 6 years and spent the most time when he served in Europe, and he was actually wounded in Battle of the Bulge, and so he was in 2nd Battalion, 30th Infantry 2nd Battalion. And he was in amphibious tactics, so he was in water tactics. So he was on the water in boats and coming in and going out and stuff like that. So growing up, I heard nothing but stories and that of who he was and what he did. And so as I got older, and people were wanted to know where my drive came, where my dedication came, I constantly heard from my mom, my dad, that you definitely get that from your grandpa George. He was a real tough guy, real disciplined, hard worker, work ethic. And so I constantly would ask stories from time to time. And so for me, when I went on my first military trip a couple of years ago, he was first stationed in the Horn of Africa. We couldn't find out exactly what country in the Horn of Africa, but my first trip was to Djibouti, which is right in the Horn of Africa. And so I thought it was pretty cool to take his Purple Heart with me, and kind of like full circle deal. It's kind of like my way of kind of saluting him and saying thank you for your sacrifice, because I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for him. The sacrifices he made. So it's kind of heavy, it's kind of deep, maybe kind of corny, but for me, that's kind of how I look at it, and it means a lot to me. So I wish I would have had a chance to meet him, but I definitely know that I'm living with a lot of his same attributes and characteristics that has allowed me to be successful in my life.
That's great, Mike. Looking back on kind of what you're doing with the rookie mentoring, last year's class of rookies. I mean, did you see some headway in what they're doing and some smarter decisions and an increase in work ethic?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like we're raising our kids, young kids right now, Tyler, and at some point you have to release them out into the real world, and you hope that everything you've taught them, everything you've done, you've said to them, the way you've treated them, that they end up getting it, and they can survive in the real world. And that's what we try to do with the player. We know we can't hold their hand the whole way through their professional career. So we just do our best to say we got to let them go, but every so often a situation pops up, the one that is really a chance that we didn't, our program wasn't in existence yet. But, you look at Alden Smith in San Francisco having a lot of problems with alcohol and stuff like that here recently. And, you only feel for a guy because, it's so easy for public and fans to sit back and go, with this guy, he got the world, in his palm, and all he's doing is messing it up. These guys come from different backgrounds and different cultures, and some of these guys don't come from the best homes, family life, and so some of these guys, it takes, and then you give them millions of dollars on top of it. So it's just, then they have all these people coming at them that okay, do I trust this person? Do I not trust this person? So guys are going to make some mistakes. So all we're trying to do is really just help guys minimize them, because they're going to happen. That's life. None of us are perfect, and so looking at the class before and the classes before that, especially the class before we work with, I think we have done a good job, and we can only do as best as we can with the time we have with them. And again, you just hope for the best once you are done working with them.
Yeah, it's definitely. I love how you said it last time we talked that you're playing a kid's game, making a kid's rant or a king's rant. You know what I mean?
You're playing a kid's game, making a king's ransom.
Yeah, there it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you truly are. I mean, I tell guys all the time, you got a golden ticket. You got a lottery ticket. Go cash it in. And how you cash it in, I'm not talking literally go to the bank and cash it in. I'm talking about you have the opportunity to cash it in because you're playing a kid's game, making a king's ransom, and you're playing on Sundays.
Yeah.
You're playing the best game on the planet. You're playing the best team sport on the planet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you're playing a kid's game. Kids, you're still playing. It's not work.
Right.
Playing football for me was never work because I loved it. It's my passion. And so go out and enjoy it. And then also take advantage of the opportunities that you're going to have with so many other doors that are going to open for you while you are, playing this kid's game and making a king's ransom. So you got to take advantage of that. And so, because when you're done, that big check necessarily can be coming in unless you've done something well with your money or created a business or done something to withstand what you already have made. But listen, there ain't no checks better than NFL checks. And so, you just try to tell guys, enjoy the process, understand everything that comes with it, and you're in a vehicle, and you have so many opportunities, and you got to take advantage of it.
Mike, and you're continuing to open doors, and I'm excited to keep following you, and I really appreciate you taking time to call in, man.
Absolutely, Tyler. You take care. Have a great weekend.
All right, Mike. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, man.
Sounds good. Have a day.
Bye. Always good to have Mike Karney call in. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Community Real Estate Talk Show on Tacoma's Conversation Station, Clay 1180 AM. I'm Tyler Freed. We'll be right back.